The blizzard is finally over. Now the digging out begins. People in the Northeast are shoveling and scraping their way out of several feet of snow. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I'm Erica Miller. It is another cold night for thousands of people in the Northeast following that historic blizzard. It left behind a huge mess. Jay Gray is in Boston tonight with more. At the height of the storm, more than 650,000 homes and businesses were without power. Tonight, about 475,000 people still remain in the dark. Utility crews say it could be days before service is finally fully restored. Well, take a look at this. Apparently, this little girl has had enough of all that snow. This picture was taken by Patrick Joyce in Wilmington, Massachusetts. His 18-month-old daughter crying there, standing in the snow path with her shovel. Well, many kids thought the snow was a lot of fun. She apparently did not. Tonight, a blizzard warning is still in effect for Nova Scotia, Canada, but people there are trying to start cleanup. It's a big mess for plows, snowblowers, and shovels to get through. Thousands of people there also don't have power. Power companies say the blowing snow there is making it very hard to restore. This just coming into our newsroom tonight. A Greensboro man is dead after being shot near South Point Mall in Durham. Durham police say 24-year-old Brian Christopher Keys was found dead in a parking lot around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Police have now just charged two 18-year-olds and a 19-year-old with his murder. Investigators say Keys knew the teens and was actually shot inside their SUV. New tonight, a silver alert is in effect for a missing Madison woman. Police are looking for 57-year-old Deborah Dean. She's believed to be suffering from dementia or some other cognitive impairment. You see her picture there. Dean was last seen at her home on East Hunter Street this evening. She's believed to be driving a 2007 gold Honda Accord with North Carolina tags YPP 6018. If you have seen Deborah Dean, you need to give Madison Police a call. The number on your screen, 548-6098. Greensboro police are looking for three men they say robbed another man in his apartment. It happened just before 8:30 last night on Durham Street. Michael Perry says he was home alone when the men stormed into his apartment. Perry was hit in the face and then held at gunpoint. The men took jewelry, clothing, and a purse and then took off in a white 1990s Cadillac. If you can help, you need to call Crime Stoppers at 373-1000. This man is in police custody in Burlington tonight, accused of making false emergency calls. 37-year-old James Miles of Charlotte is accused of calling 911 from a motel, telling dispatchers a clerk there had been shot. Police say no shooting ever happened. Several other false reports were made throughout the day. Investigators say Miles has done this before. The search continues in a bizarre theft involving animal parts in Charlotte. Listen to this. Police say Wednesday night someone stole a freezer behind the Carolinas Animal Hospital in Southwest Charlotte. Inside were the remains of dogs and cats. The owner of the hospital says it's not unusual to store animal remains in the freezer, but having someone make off with it is. And because it is a teaching hospital, there were cadavers also stored in that freezer. Dr. Quick believes whoever took the freezer had no idea what was in it. Another day and the search for an accused cop killer continues just outside of Los Angeles. More than 100 officers are still searching the snow-covered San Bernardino Mountains for any sign of ex-police officer Christopher Dorner, that is. It's been 4 days since police say he went on a killing spree in which 3 people were killed. Today, the Los Angeles mayor spoke out asking Dorner to surrender.
Turn yourself.
LA police just recently said they will reopen investigation into Dorner's firing a few years ago. In a manifesto, Dorner said it was that firing that's behind the killing spree. Thousands of people packed the streets near the state capitol today for the NAACP's historic Thousands on Jones March. A coalition of more than 140 civil rights groups took part today. Members are concerned about the General Assembly's attempt to pass a voter ID bill and a measure cutting jobless benefits to pay off money owed to the federal government. The coalition is also concerned about poverty and education issues. This was the 7th year for the march. President Obama will be in the Tar Heel State today after delivering his State of the Union address. The president will stop in Asheville on Wednesday, then move on to Atlanta. The White House hasn't said what Mr. Obama will do in either city, but it is tradition for presidents to go on a post-speech tour to pitch their proposals to the public. President Obama, you'll remember, lost North Carolina in November's election. A federal safety panel will hold a hearing next week about the sinking of a replica 18th century ship. The HMS Bounty sank 90 miles off Cape Hatteras during Hurricane Sandy last year. The ship's captain and a crew member died. The 14 surviving crew members are expected to testify starting on Tuesday. High Point police say no charges will be filed against a driver who hit a man with his car. 31-year-old Kedrick McBride was crossing the road to see a friend when he was hit. It happened around 4:30 this morning on North Main Street. McBride has minor injuries and is in the hospital tonight. We're told he is stable. Right now, traffic is moving smoothly over the newly constructed outside lanes of Interstate 85 North in Davidson County. Just a few hours ago at 8 o'clock, traffic was shifted to these new lanes near Belmont Road as work on the project was finished. The reopening did cause some nearby ramps to close. They should reopen by 11 a.m. tomorrow. Right. A former NFL player with ties to the Triad gives back to the community, inspiring parents and kids to add some healthy habits back into their lives. A look inside a brand new gym built for families. Plus, a big milestone for a race that challenges the mind, body, and the stomach. The sweet reward that will help sick kids in our state get a little better. We'll be right back. Welcome back. He played in the NFL and is now a coach, but Wake Forest grad Ricky Proehl is still finding time to improve Prolific Park in Greensboro. Today he was at a grand opening ceremony for the new fitness facility there. It was created after parents said they wanted a place to work out with their kids. It features new state-of-the-art equipment and classes will be offered as well for adults. Prolific Park has grown tremendously since opening 5 years ago. And coming up in the sports report, Ricky Proehl will talk about his new role as wide receivers coach with the Carolina Panthers. A race that challenges the mind, the body, and the stomach reaches a record milestone. More than 8,000 runners took part in the Krispy Kreme Challenge this morning in Raleigh. Here's how it works. You run 2.5 miles to a Krispy Kreme store. You eat a dozen donuts. Yeah, a dozen donuts. Then you run 2.5 miles back to the start. It's a fundraiser for the North Carolina Children's Hospital. This year's event raised $177,000, bringing the total raised for the hospital to $551,000. All right, another 60. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you so much for watching tonight on WXII 12 News. Don't go away. Your WXII 12 Sports Report is coming up next.